Now we can add images and resize images. Let's take a look at HTML tables. What is a table? A table is an arrangement that consists of rows and columns and other properties and data inside. So let's take a look at HTML table in W3 School. We can see that we have a table here. When you see something like this is a table. We will have seen an example in Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word or anywhere. So this is an example of a table, and table has different properties. This is what we need to know. It is very important that we know that table has different properties. The first property itself is the table. The second property that we need to know is that a table has rows and columns. Rows and columns. So the rows is the horizontal one, then the column is the vertical one. Don't be confused. Rows and columns. Rows, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, column 1, column 2, column 3. So this is a column. These are columns. If I'm going downward like this is a column. If I'm going this way, this is a row. So this guy here, this company now is on row 1, column 1. This one is on row 1, column 2, on row 1, column 3. So we should know that we have rows and columns. Another one is the table head. The table head is the one that tells us the attributes, the properties, or the data in the table. So now this is a table head. We see a company. This company text is a table head. Now we know that this particular column 1 consists of company's name. This another one is contact, is a table head. We know that this column consists of contacts. This third one is country table head. Yes, which means this row, this column consists of countries that the companies have. So we know that we have the table, the rows and columns, the table head. Now we have the table data. The table data is the information under the table head. So we see that inside the company table head, now under the company table head, we have Alfred Poptaski. We have Central Commercial Mentozuma, wherever those names are. We see that these are the table data. Our table data. We know that company is the table head. That's on the first row. Then the following rows will contain the table data. The following rows will contain the table data. So this row 1 now will contain the table head. The following row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, and so on, will contain the table data. Now that we know what a table is and the properties with table, let's take a look at how we can represent them in our website. So if we look at this place now, we see that our table is denoted by the table tag, then followed by the table role. These are the properties inside the table tag. The table tag has an opening and a closing table tag. So this is the opening table tag, this is the closing table tag. Inside it we have our table properties. So the first one is the table role. So the first one is the table role. We see that we have table rows. One, this is a table row, this is another table row, this is another table row. So we can see here from our example that we have 1, 2, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7. So that means in our table we will have 7 table rows, and we have column 1, column 2, column 3. That means in our table we will have 3 columns. So now this can be confusing for a starter or a beginner, but don't be confused. I will explain properly. So let's go back to our website. Let's clear these guys so we can have a blank website, blank page. So the first one is the table itself, opening and closing table tag. Inside it, we will now have our table row. That's the row 1. If you want to say your row 1, you now say TR, table row, you close it. Now this is our first row. So now our first row we have head, which is our table head. This one now, you see that this is our first row, is the one that contains the table head, which is company, contact, country. Now we will now say table head. How do we denote a table head? It's denoted by TH, table head. We now say our table head will contain, the text will now be company. Let's copy and paste this. We have 3 columns. So the second one will be contact, copy and paste. The third one is country. So we have 3 columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3. So now this is our first rule. When we save and go to our website and reload, we see that we have 3 columns: company, contact, and country. Now our second row is still denoted by table row. So for every row is table row. So our second row will now have, the first row we use table head, the second row will now use table data. We understand that table data is the information inside our table. So table data is denoted by TD, table data. So now, what is our first data? Let's call our company that we know. Let's say Google, first company. The second one, the second column is now contact. Who is the contact? I don't know. Let me say Toluwap. The third column is now the country, is in USA. So let's save and reload. We see that we have our table head and our table data. The first company, Google. The contact is Toluwap. Country is USA. We see now. So now let's create another row. We can copy this row and paste it. It will give us another table row. Let's say what else again? Facebook name. The contact is a cop. Country is still in USA. So let's look for, let's say, Nigeria. So reload. We see that we have the second company, contact, and country. We see now, so we can continue creating this table row, so on, as long as they are inside the table tag itself. So I hope you understand what table is and the properties, and how to differentiate between table head and table data, and how to create a new table row. If you have any question, please drop it in the comments so I can answer you. If you have any issues, you can just put it there too. In any of the videos, I can also answer you. Hope you enjoyed these videos. See you next time.